Yo, what's going on, guys? So in this video, we're going to be simplifying the understanding of manifestation, which is a fancy word for creation, where manifesting is creating. Manifestation as creation is the process of visualization, which we typically call materialization. Therefore, manifesting as creating is visualizing, which we typically call materializing, visualizing. And we're gonna use the best analogy available to simplify this, which is the analogy of a garden, which is what the Garden of Eden symbolizes. The Garden of Eden is the mind of God. Right? The mind of God is like a coin with two sides, heads and tails. Adam and Eve, the masculine and feminine side of God, the side that seeds and the side that's seeded. But in this regard, right, a coin is one thing. God is one being with two sides. The mind of God, the Garden of Eden, is the soil of life. But in this regard, that which seeds is that which is seeded, where the soil is seeding itself. All right? The mind of God is a paradox, which means a contradiction. So here on earth, there's a difference between the gardener and the garden. The gardener goes into the garden and plants seeds into the soil. That's not how the mind of God works in heaven as the Garden of Eden. The soil of life is a paradox, a contradiction, where the gardener is the garden gardening itself as the soil seeding itself. Okay? So, this is where we get the idea of you sow what you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow what you reap. In the sense that life is a mirror, what you see is how you appear. In the sense that you're looking at your reflection, right? What you're giving is what you're getting. What you're getting is what you're giving. So what you see is how you appear. It's one and the same thing. So in order to change your life, you have to change yourself. And we do so through changing our mind. And that starts with our thoughts. That starts with changing how we think. Okay? And we can use a very simplified structure to understand this best. All right? And you have to watch my other videos to get a better context on this, but here on this channel, in this teaching, what we're teaching is what people call spirituality, which is a form of psychology, as what's called mysticism. And in this psychology, we're coming from the perspective that the mind is the universe. The mind as the creative principle is God as oneself, the creator being. So we are as life living itself, the gardening itself as the creator creating creation, the gardener gardening the garden. All right, where we are the creator creating oneself or recreating oneself, right, to create the life we want to live for ourselves. So we're going to go into this simplified structure to see how the process of manifesting works. Okay? The mind is the universe as God. Life itself as oneself, the creator being. The mind of God is the soil of life, the Garden of Eden. All right? And we are God as the gardener. Cultivating is manifesting as creating through visualizing. So, in the same way, right, the mind of God is the tree of life. In the same way, when it comes to a tree, you have the branch and the trunk, but the branch is the trunk as the tree. When it comes to the mind, you have the brain and the universe, but the brain is the universe as the mind. The branch is the trunk as the tree of life. The brain is the universe as the mind of God. The universe is the mind of God in a unified state. The brain is the mind of God in an individualized state, distinguishing reality and personality, life and form, God and man, self and image, being human, mirror and reflection, I am name, or I am this/that. There's many different ways that we can describe it. Check out my other videos to see that and how that plays out. Now, when we come from the proper understanding that the mind is the universe, when you're born, the mind, which is the universe individualizes itself as the brain, meaning the mind materializes as the body, along with the rest of the universe in the dream of life. All right? Or the mind is materializing itself as the brain, body, and the universe all at the same time in the dream of life. All right? Coming from that understanding that the mind is the universe, the mind as oneself is the immaterial being materializing oneself, the unmanifest being manifesting oneself. So any and every state of mind is a state of being because the mind is the state of being as life itself, transforming itself, which is creating as manifesting, which is visualizing. So we start with the universe as life itself, which is the mind, the state of being, the immaterial. From the state of being is the state of thinking, then feeling, then doing. So you have being as the mind, thinking as the brain, feeling as the heart, and doing as the body. Where you act the way you act because you feel the way you feel, because you think the way you think. That's why you are the way you are. That's why you live the life you live. So if you hate your life, you don't have to kill yourself. You just have to change your mind. And that starts with your thoughts, because your thoughts are the seeds in the soil of life, which is sprouting as unhealthy thoughts, feelings, and actions in your brain and body, as well as undesirable people, places, and things around you in your life. All right? So it's all rooted in your thoughts. The mind is the soil, thoughts are the seeds. that sprout as either crops or weeds, which are healthy and unhealthy feelings in the body and brain, healthy and unhealthy, desirable or undesirable events and circumstances, people, places, and things around you in your life. It's all a reflection of the thoughts in your mind, right? This person was attracted to you into your life because you think the way you think. That event happened to you in your life because you think the way you think. So, it's not to say that, a baby that dies at birth brings that upon itself because of the way it thinks, right? It's understanding that your thoughts play a much bigger role than you think in what's happening in your life. So I'm not saying that every single thing that's ever happened to you is the direct result of a thought in your mind, but I'm saying a lot more things than you realize are a direct result of the thoughts in your mind. That person wouldn't have come into your life if you didn't think the way you think. That place, you wouldn't have ended up in that place if you didn't think the way you think. Right? That event or circumstance wouldn't have happened to you if you didn't think the way you think. You're actually cursing yourself. You're bringing this upon yourself through your thoughts. All right? So, the mind of God as the Garden of Eden is the soil of life. Thoughts are seeds that are planted in the brain, take root in the heart, and sprout in the body as healthy and unhealthy, positive and negative, desirable and undesirable thoughts, feelings, and actions in your brain and body, and people, places, things, events, and circumstances around you in your life, where it's all a manifestation of yourself. It's all a visualization of the mind, where visualizing is thinking. So you're thinking your life into existence. You're visualizing this for yourself because of the way you think, right? Your life appears to be the way it appears because you think the way you think. Thinking is appearing as creating, which is manifesting as visualizing. All right? Visualization is appearance. Visualizing is appearing. So your life is appearing the way it is to you because you're visualizing it that way. You're projecting your thoughts you're planting your thoughts, your seeds into the soil of life, and they're sprouting as these things inside and outside of you, and you're like, why is there all these weeds in my garden when you planted them? But you're half asleep and you're not paying attention to your seeds. You're just going around. You throw this seed there, that seed there. You're not paying attention to the thoughts in your mind. And then they take root in your heart. And they sprout in your body. And in your life. As all of these different things going on and happening to you on the inside and outside. And you're like, why me? Why me? It's all your fault. You're the one that's just throwing seeds this way and that way, and then they sprout as weeds, and you're like, what did I do? You planted it. You don't know that, though, because you're not paying attention. You don't even know if you have crops or weeds, because you don't know what your seeds are. You got to pay attention to your thoughts. And you got to determine, is this thought healthy or unhealthy? then that's a crop and that's a weed. If it's healthy, it's a crop. If it's unhealthy, it's a weed. If it's desirable or undesirable, positive or negative, it's a crop or a weed. And you have to sift through your seeds and cultivate your mind to manifest your life and recreate yourself. All right? So if you hate yourself, you can recreate yourself, which is resurrection, reincarnation, which is something that happens through the transformation of your mind, and that begins and ends with your thoughts, through the cultivation of seeds. And then from there, you can sprout healthy rather than unhealthy, positive rather than negative, desirable rather than undesirable thoughts, feelings, actions, people, places, things, events, and circumstances inside and outside of you in your life. And you can recreate yourself, change your life, and be reborn in a new life. So reincarnation is not just something that happens when you die, because the mind, in the context of transformation, is the shedding of a skin, and that is a rebirth in a sense, mentally or spiritually speaking. You shed your skin, right? And it's almost as if you're reborn. You're transformed. All right? And that's the simplicity and practicality of manifestation. It's that simple. You are the creator creating creation as creation creating itself. You are the gardener gardening the garden as the garden gardening itself. You are the soil seeding itself. The soil of life, right, is the mind of God as the Garden of Eden. You are God in the Garden of Eden. The mind of God in the dream of life, right here, right now. So why aren't you living it? Whatever your dream is, why aren't you dreaming it? What are you dreaming? Are you dreaming what mommy wanted you to? Are you dreaming what daddy wanted you to? What grandma and grandpa wanted you to? What your teacher wanted you to? What your boss wanted you to? Why aren't you dreaming what you want to? And so cultivation starts with meditation, which is self-reflection. And through self-reflection, we become more and more aware of ourself, more and more self-conscious. And we start to pay more and more attention to the seeds we're planting and how they're sprouting in our life. What, who, what, where, why, what they're sprouting as inside and outside of us, which is becoming more and more lucid in the dream of life, right? Because you can only gain more conscious control over the dream the more lucid you are, the more conscious you are. The less conscious you are, and the more you're just going with the motions of the dream, you know, the life that you've been thrown into, right? You think, oh, well, this is just who I am. This is just my life, and there's nothing I can do. I can't change it. Oh, woe is me. Oh, well, boo-hoo. I'm cursed. No, you curse yourself. And you need to start blessing yourself. And blessings come in the form of ventriloquy, because that's all that there is in the dream of life. The mind of God is the word in the Bible. The word is speech in the context of affirmation. Affirmation is visualization, which we call prayer, right? So, visualization dreaming, creative imagining, visualizing the life you want to live for yourself, who you see yourself as, who you want to be, how you see your life, the life you want to live, what you want to have. You have to visualize it in your mind. You have to pray. You have to say it out loud. Say it in your mind. Say it to yourself. And we do so in the context of the word through the expression, the affirmation, I am. So the mind of God is oneself as life itself. As life itself, we express ourself as I am. So we either bless or curse ourselves depending on who or what we say I am. If you say I am poor, I am ugly, I am weak, I am unlovable, I am incapable, and you have a negative image of yourself, you see yourself that way, that's why your life keeps appearing that way. Because you're speaking it into existence, which is manifesting it, creating it, is speaking it. So, in the beginning was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. So all there is God in the Word, which is like the mouth and speech as the mind and thought, where speaking is thinking. So God speaking things into existence is the mind thinking things into existence, where thinking is visualizing as manifesting, which is creating. So the word is the affirmation of oneself as I am. Okay? We would call it our self-image. So if you're saying all of these negative things about yourself, you're going to continue to curse yourself. And God says, I will bless anyone who blesses you, and I will curse anyone who curses you. All right? If you keep speaking negatively, speaking negativity into existence, thinking negative things all day, negative people, places, and things, events and circumstances, thoughts, feelings, and actions are going to continue to be created inside and outside of you as weeds. So if you want to change your life, you have to change the way you speak. You have to watch your mouth and change the way you think. You got to start saying, I am good. I am strong. I am capable. I am lovable. I am beautiful. I am great. I am the best. I am going to do it. I am the greatest of all time. That's how you bless yourself and love yourself rather than curse yourself and hate yourself. And that's how you start to create, manifest good thoughts, feelings, actions, healthy thoughts, feelings, actions, people, places, things, events, and circumstances inside and outside of you as your life. And you change your life through your speech, your thoughts, your words. All right? So the word of God is the expression of oneself as I am. To say I am this or that is the word of God, which is all ventriloquy. In the play of life, the brain is a mask, the body is a suit, form is a costume disguising life within, man is a costume disguising God within, where man is the character as the puppet that God plays in the play of life, where God is the puppet master as the ventriloquist. The word is therefore ventriloquy, where there is only God as oneself speaking things into existence. So watch your mouth, because you're the director or actor in the play of life, and you're directing it and acting it out through the character of man. And so if you want to end scene and cut to the next scene in the movie of life, you gotta change your thoughts and watch your mouth. All right? So this is the simplicity and practicality of manifestation. Manifesting is creation. All right, so manifestation is oneself as the creator creating creation, as creation creating itself. Life living itself. So if you don't like the life you live, you have to change it. And that starts with your thoughts, which are your words. All right? You see things the way you see things because you think the way you think. And that's why things appear the way they appear to you. So it's all down to your thoughts. You have to change your thoughts, change your mind, and change your life. Right? If right now your thoughts are sprouting as weeds, then you have to cultivate the mind of God, the Garden of Eden, to start sprouting crops instead. And that transformation is the cultivation of manifestation, which is all idealization. So it's all up to you. It all comes down to what you want. There's no absolute right or wrong answer. It's just, what do you define as healthy and unhealthy, positive and negative, desirable and undesirable, and go from there. And however that shapes your life, as long as you're not hurting anyone or hurting yourself, as long as you're setting that foundation of how does this help me be a better person, live a better life, help the world be a better place, right? Then it's all up to you. It's all whatever you want, right? So hope this helps you guys simplify the understanding of manifestation. All right? So we'll end off on this one last time. It all starts with consciousness, which is the mind, as the state of being, the self-expression I am. Then we say I am this or that through the word. From the state of being comes words. From the mouth comes words. From the mind comes thoughts planted in the brain as seeds in the soil of life. They take root in the heart and sprout in the body as healthy or unhealthy, desirable or undesirable, positive or negative, thoughts, feelings, actions, people, places, things, events, and circumstances inside of and outside of you as your life, where you act the way you act because you feel the way you feel, because you think the way you think. That's why you are the way you are. That's why you live the life you live. So it all starts with a vision. It all starts with vision, beginning with cognitions, emotions, and then actions. So there's the state of being, then thinking, then feeling, then doing, which is vision, cognition, emotion, action. The immaterial materializing oneself, the unmanifest manifesting oneself, God incarnating oneself, life transforming oneself, where vision is being, cognition, emotion, and action is behaving. So being is being, behaving is thinking, feeling, doing. All right. So we have to change our behavior in the way we speak or think, so that we are no longer speaking or thinking these unhealthy, undesirable, or negative things into our life. All right. So it all starts with the mind. It goes into the brain, heart, and body, which is, or the spirit, mind, heart, and body, depending on whether you're emphasizing the mind as the universe or the brain. There's the mind, brain, heart, and body, or the spirit, mind, heart, and body as being, thinking, feeling, doing, which is vision, cognition, emotion, and action, where everything reduced to the state of being is reduced to vision. Therefore, behaving is visualizing as affirming, which is thinking as speaking. So, manifesting as creating is visualizing, which is behaving as speaking or thinking. So to change your life, you have to change your mind, and that starts with changing your thoughts, which are the seeds in the mind of God, the soil of life, the Garden of Eden, which is sprouting as either crops or weeds in your life, as your life, healthy or unhealthy, desirable or undesirable, positive or negative thoughts, feelings, actions, people, places, things, events, and circumstances in your life. All right. So that's a summarization of everything that we just learned. So I hope this helps to simplify manifestation. That's what it's all about, is affirmation. So stop cursing yourself and start blessing yourself. All right? Love yourself. And that will change your life. So I love you guys. My buddy here is telling me he wants loves, so I'll be back with the next video ASAP. Say bye, Dookie.